Right now, let's go to your phone calls as promised. Aaron in New Hampshire, you're on the air worldwide, sir.
Alex, I just want to start by saying thank you. You're truly my hero. You know, I thought I was alone in this world, seeing what was going on, and you showed me that there's a lot of others out there fighting the fight, and I thank you for that. I just want to say that I think the time is now. I've been telling a lot of people this for a lot of years. For the longest time, people just looked at me with the glassed eyes, the glazed over look, like I'm crazy. But in the past few months, Alex, people are waking up faster, so fast it scares me.
Exactly, and that's why I'm telling people, a lot of great people for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. In fact, I want to get Red Beckman back on the show. He's been fighting him for 50. You know, it was so hard 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Now, world government's out in the open. Now is the time to expose these people.
Well, I just want to say that one of the things that I did that I would like to encourage other people to do is to maintain contact with your local police. You know, I live in a small town, and you know, you think that these guys don't know, but a lot of them do, and some of them don't, and they need to know. I think they need to know who we are and where we are.
You know why they're waking up? Because for 50 years, and a lot of them, of course, are out of the force, 30, 40 years, but in the last few decades especially, they get these monthly secret reports demonizing these crazy people say there's going to be a carbon tax. These crazy people say there's a world government. These crazy people say the banks are going to bankrupt us by design and want to shut down our industry. I mean, that's what the hell they read. And the cops go, but that's what's happening. See, the globalist own propaganda is blowing up in their face because they wanted to psychologically imprint people to where when world government finally got set up, no one would resist it because they've been told it wasn't kosher to talk about. But now it's okay to talk about it, and because it's out in the open. And, sir, when I tell people we're having victories, folks, we are. But at the same time, the New World Order is in control of the government, so they're just expanding their operation because they have nothing to lose. They've committed so many crimes that they can't turn back now. We're on a collision course, and it's important for police and military to understand we're not your enemy. We're the American people. But you work for the New World Order, and you need to become aware of that and realize and start saying no to this together, and we can save America. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right on, Alex, as always. And you know, like I say,
so you're talking to the local cops and they're awake. What do they say?
Make sure everybody in your town knows. I've talked to my town officials, my selectmen. They all know. So that way, I mean.
Well, stop, Aaron. Tell me what they say when you talk to them.
Well, you know, a lot of them, they say, you know, geez, we know, you know, I know that the world's going to hell in a handbasket and all that, and. You know, but they're starting to see it. I've got, you know, like I said, there's a couple of them. I talked to the local detective. Another good people to talk to is the detectives because they've got the mind for that. They're already, you know, their minds.
I agree. They're not stupid. I've talked to a bunch of LAPD detectives, different events and things I've been at with Hollywood people. It's always retired detectives or part-time detectives that are guarding them, and they say they're all awake. And this was years ago.
For the first time, Alex, I really see hope. And for a long time, like I said, I've seen this since I was a kid. I've been trying to warn people since I was a kid. I've seen it. It was just clear as day to me, and I don't even understand how other people can't. It boggles my mind how people can't see what's happening to them.
Let me tell you why, Aaron, and I appreciate your call. They're cowards. And even if it's admitted on television that world government's here, they don't want to resist it or speak out against it because they don't respect themselves. And that's what's sad about it. They have no idea you're alive once. We're being tested. It's time to make the choice. Jeff in Tennessee, you're on the air.
Thanks, Alex, for taking my call. Just to give you a little bit of hindsight, man. 9 months ago, I was a diehard Republican, and then I was on the radio dial one day, and I turned to you. And I found a voice that was similar to what I was thinking, man. And I just want to let you know that ever since I've been woke up, I've hit the ground running to try to spread the information. Former law enforcement, I've contacted a ton of my old friends that are, you know, SWAT team guys, detectives, everything, you know, and I try to tell them what's going on. And, you know, it's a little bit of a joke between me and them is that, you know, I love you, man, and I want you to wake up because I'd hate to have to fight you one day. And I just want you to know that I'm out here and in the Memphis area, and I'm trying to wake up as many people as I can. And you really don't know where your reward is until you see the people start waking up. And I woke up, you know, 20, 30 people ever since, you know, I started listening to you. And I knew that what I was thinking inside, that I wasn't crazy.
And the secret is, Jeff, I didn't wake you up. You were already awake. And those 30 people you've woken up, you didn't wake them up. You simply pointed out what they already knew subconsciously.
Absolutely. And just to take it one step further, I'm in a suburb of the Memphis area, and I'm actually going to run for city council in our suburb under an independent ticket, under a constitutionalist.
And even if you don't win, in the process of running, you'll educate people.
Absolutely, man. And I just want you to say to you, keep up the good work, man. And foot soldiers like me, we're out here and we're getting the information out for you, man.
Well, God bless you, Jeff. I'm a foot soldier, too. I mean, we're all in this together. And that's what's so frustrating about seeing people in government and corporations and just the general public saying, oh, it's not my job, or I'm glad you're out there, Alex. I'm just a regular guy like you, Jeff. I mean, I was in college, and they were teaching me world government was good, and my founding fathers were bad, and that the Second Amendment was bad. And I said, this is a bunch of sedition. Who are these people? And I went and found out the whole story. And that was 18, 19, 20 years ago. And I got on air 14 years ago, 14 plus now, a little bit over 14 years. And the lesson I learned is that if you just stand up on your feet and fight back, you will start winning. More calls straight ahead. 3 calls in this short 5-minute segment. Tony in Texas, you're on the air. Hey, buddy.
Give me 1 second, man.
1 second, Tony? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Go ahead. Yes.
I'm sorry about I found it kind of interesting when you were talking about how the globalists and how they pretty much try to desensitize us and dumb us down. Maybe not quickly, but incrementally.
Yes.
Okay. Well, a perfect example. I saw a movie a few months back. It's called Idiocracy. I don't know if you've ever heard about it.
Yeah, Mike Judge. He's a great guy.
Yeah. I found it really hilarious, when I first...
but that's actually how it's going to be. That's the globalist plan.
Yeah,
except they won't keep a bunch of morons around. After everybody's dumbed down, they're going to accelerate their soft kill operation. But everybody's so poisoned and so dumbed down, they can't even tell what's happening to them.
Yeah, I found it pretty hilarious when I was watching it, and I just started thinking about everything that you try to tell everybody,
Yeah, Mike Judge is a fan of this show.
No, that's nice to hear, and maybe the actual movie isn't maybe not all that great, but just a message that he's trying to,
Yeah,
put
Mike
out.
Judge is a good guy. His new movie, Extract, I think, is one of his best. I just watched that on the treadmill last week, jogging. And, Idiocracy, that's exactly what we're talking about. I appreciate your call. Good to hear from you, Tony. Good point. Marlon in Texas. Marlon, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Alex. I listen to your show all the time. I encourage people to listen to it. If for nothing else, for entertainment. I really appreciate your perspectives. My question is about one of your major points is usually the false left-right paradigm. And I have a lot of trouble because having come from a Southern Baptist background in the service, I'm really clear who the right wing is, and I'm very aware of their intolerance and about a number of issues. So I know who they are. Listen to Rush Limbaugh for years and years and years because he articulates a lot of things that I don't
Sir, I'm not
believe
saying there's not a difference between the left and right. I'm saying at the end of the day, they're controlled by the same interests, not people on the left or the right. The leaders of it contain the debate. And you notice government gets bigger, we lose more freedoms no matter who is in, and you get 75, 80, 90% of the people against open borders, 99% against the banker bailout. That was in Gallup. It still happens. Okay, so my point is that's all window dressing. We need to start debating the shadow government, the private banks that have illegitimately bought off both parties. Okay, and they dangle intolerance issues out there to get people on the left to vote for big government as if somebody's suppressing them. So what if somebody doesn't like your lifestyle? There's freedom in this country. It's a political football to be tossed back and forth all day. And then the left comes in and wants to indoctrinate people's kids when that's up to the parents to decide how their kids are raised. So the right wing legitimately tells the left, don't teach my 6-year-old how to fist or other things like that. And they go, oh, you're intolerant. Do you know what they teach kids in public school?
I understand your perspective on that.
Well, look, I mean, what is it you don't, I mean, you say for entertainment purposes. I had a guy the day before Christmas Eve at a gas station come up and say, do you really believe all the stuff you say? And I said, sir, almost everything I talk about you can document. I believe everything I'm saying. Sometimes I have a guest on. Sometimes we cover things that I don't believe in on the air to have a debate about it. You know, and it's good to get outside the box and just have a debate. But everything I talk about, everything I discuss, I believe. Because I have the evidence, sir. Look at everything I talk about ends up unfolding. I told you they were going to put body scanners in all airports 6 years ago. 7 years ago, as I saw Governor Ridge say they were going to do it. I mean, what is entertaining about this? Because let me tell you, this isn't entertaining for me. I wake up almost every night freaked out about what's going on. I know how real this is. I'm freaked out about having to say no to the body scanners now when I fly. They're going in everywhere.